Hello, everybody. So this is the end of our New Year, New Energy celebration, our first of what are going to be many such celebrations. And for all those who attended and presented over the last 2 days, I just have to start by expressing my immense gratitude. You plan these things, and in this case, I was so sick in December. Marta and Melissa and our team did most of the work. But it's a great reminder to just trust the energy, trust the timing, because the last few days have been amazing. And when you plan these things, I always think of all the people it's going to help. And I was one of those people. Like, I have gotten so much out of the last 2 days, and I know all these practitioners. So I can only imagine for you folks who are getting introduced to them. Our community really is made up with just the loveliest group of people that you can imagine. And because of our strong core ethics around collaboration, honoring the authentic self, radical transparency, being generous in spirit while acknowledging the necessity of energy exchange. All of that has meant that we have attracted the kindest, most insightful souls that legitimately care about you and about the world and where we're going. So I just have to start with a moment of gratitude for all the practitioners, for Marta, for my sister Melissa, and for everybody who sat in today. For a lot of people, it was the first time that they've had a lot of experience or any experience with any of this stuff. So um, I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happier with how it all went. And so I thought that we should end today with a soul check-in. And this is something that I've been trying to learn to do. Anybody who's worked with me or been in a meeting with me knows that my brain can absolutely be like a squirrel on meth. So I don't have one good idea. I have 500 and I want to do them all right now. And the fact that Marta isn't laughing shows her professionalism because I know she knows that to be true. And
My
so one
brain
of the
works the
things
same.
that's why we need Melissa. No, it's and there is so much exciting to do. So we've all kind of been exposed to all kinds of different things, but I wanted to end today with just giving each of us a chance to actually check in with our guidance. So I'm going to put you into the energy 3 times. I'm going to, how it's going to work is first, I'm going to bring you through a guided meditation. They're not going to be very long, about 10 minutes, give or take. The first one's going to be kind of advice or a check-in with your higher self, right? So using Reiki to transcend to the future or to a place where we are higher, more healed, to get guidance. Then we're going to check in with your spirit guides and get guidance. And then we're going to check in with the universe. And so I'll put you in the energy for 10 minutes. When you come out, I'm going to encourage you to write for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm going to put you right back into the energy again. And we're not going to necessarily stop to share in between. We're going to go into the energy. We're going to write. We're going to come out. We're going to write. Um, I'm not going to play music for two reasons. One, it's a little bit glitchy on Zoom still. But two, some people really prefer the silence. I find that I go deeper in the silence, and I just find that life is so noisy that the silence is sometimes what my central nervous system needs. Now, if you like music, play music. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a personal preference. Um, and so we're going to do this 3 times. It's going to be completely channeled because every time I sat down to write it, the universe was like, nope. And I was like, oh, I'd like a script. And the universe was like, nope. So I promised the universe I was going to do what it guided me to do. So that's how it's going to be. Any questions before we get started? These are going
Will
to be
you
recorded.
please,
Oh,
can you put the questions in the chat, the prompts?
um, there's not really going to be that many prompts. If I feel if a prompt comes, I will. But really, what it's going to be is, yeah, I'll put it in the prompts because I guess there is like the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the funny thing is about this, why I laugh is I've never done this before. I've never seen this before. This is something that the universe told me that I was supposed to do. So I am just going to type it out here. So the first one is going to be, what does your higher self want you to know? Right? Like, what does it want you to know right now? If you get nothing from that, then the follow-up prompt is what does your higher self want you to release to move forward? That can be a limiting thought, that can be a habit, that can be a relationship. That can be all kinds of things. So just allow that to kind of filter through. The second one is going to be messages from your guides. Same thing. What message do your guides want you to receive right now? And if you get nothing from that open-ended question, the more focused question will be, what do they want you to invite in to your life? And then the third is going to be your message from the universe. Now, you can consider that God, source, whatever word for kind of that infinite, all-knowing energy. Some people, because of their religious background and trauma, really aren't comfortable with the word God. Um, I resonate most with the universe, but source is, whatever you want to call it is fine. I'm going to use the word universe.
Well, just remember,
So
everything comes from source.
everything comes from source. As a funny side story, and I'll try to keep it to a limit because I know we're all tired, but the company that me and my first husband started that gave us the financial abundance to do all of this um, is actually called Source Management. And we actually didn't name it. We bought it when it was about to go bankrupt. And but we had a saying in our house. Everything comes from source because the source was the company that started it. So everything comes from source. And so all these years later, when I get all hippy dippy and find out, source, and I could hear my first husband's voice say, "See, I was right. Everything comes from source." So connecting with source is what we're going to be doing in the third one. And again, the same question: what does the universe want you to know in this moment? And then if you don't get anything from that, or the follow-up question is, what is the next action you need to take? And it can be small. It can be big, but it can also be small. It can be something as simple as, I'm going to be kinder to myself. I'm going to silence the critic in my brain. So those are the three kind of prompts. I'm going to invite you all now to get comfortable. If you want to turn your camera off, you can. I'm going to leave mine on and I'm going to get comfortable. I bought this fancy dancy chair that lays down and it has a footrest, but this isn't time for me to rest. It's time for me to lead. So I'm going to sit on my feet. And so, like all the other meditations that we've done in the last couple of days, be kind to yourself. You cannot do this wrong. Um, you really can't. You have done the hard part, which is show up. So you've already done what you needed to do. Now you just need to surrender and let the universe guide you. And that's not complicated. It's simply however you want to, Reiki on. Yes, I consent. However you want to give your permission for the Reiki energy to move through you and help. There is no wrong way. Okay. Here we go, channeling it all. Um, all right. I'm just going to take a second to center myself. We're not in a hurry, even though it is late. So let's start by inviting you all to make yourselves comfortable. You can close your eyes if that feels right, or soften your gaze. We're just going to allow ourselves to really be in this moment. If you have Reiki symbols, you can invite them in now. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm going to call in my symbols. I call in all symbols I have now or may ever have, known or unknown, named or unnamed. Call in the highest energy from the highest planes to guide and lead this meditation, removing my energy, my ego from it completely. Focus on your breathing now. We're going to take one slow, gentle breath in through our nose. Push it all the way down to our belly. Hold it for the count of 3. And slowly release out your mouth, pausing for the count of 3 before breathing in again. Let's do one more. In through your nose. Push all the way down to your belly. Hold for the count of 3. And slowly release out your mouth. Hold for the count of 3 before breathing in again. This time is for you and about you, so just allow yourself to be fully present. Now imagine you're walking through a beautiful forest. The air is fresh and clean, and the light filters gently through the trees. The path beneath your feet feels steady and safe, covered in a warm, soft green moss. You don't need to rush. You're allowed just to take it all in, the beauty around you. The forest is calm, welcoming, and familiar, as if it's been waiting for you. Allow the peace and the calm of the forest to come into you now. And as you walk, you feel supported, protected, and at ease. Just allow yourself a moment to connect with the harmony and peace of the forest. As you move through the forest, ahead of you, the trees begin to open and you step into a clearing. Sunlight pours down warmly here. Not harsh, not blinding, just enough to make you feel held. This is a safe place, and your soul recognizes it as a sacred place. Allow yourself a moment just to connect with this space. Allow the Reiki energy to come through this space and into every cell of your body, every part of your soul and spirit. Now, in the center of this clearing, you notice a mirror. This is no ordinary mirror, this is a divine mirror, one that shows the truth without judgment. We ask you to step closer and look into this mirror and see your true self. But notice the difference. You appear brighter, more at peace. Your eyes are lively and clear, and your energy feels open and calm. This is your higher self, This is you without the weight of guilt, without shame, without self doubt, without those negative stories, those low vibrational stories that were never truly yours. This is what you look like as your authentic self, not your culturally created self. I want you to pause now and really take a moment to look. What do you notice? Not at the surface features, but at the beauty of your spirit. Notice the kindness there, wisdom, and resilience. This is who you are at your core. Now allow yourself to gently connect with this version of you. There's no distance between you, only recognition. Silently or out loud, ask your higher self now. What guidance do you have for me now? What does your higher self want you to know? We invite the energy in to bring clarity around this question to you now. And if you're feeling like you're not coming up with anything clearly right now, that's okay. Sometimes these messages come through in the writing or later, even the days to come. The second question you can ask is, what does your higher self want you to release to move forward? You may receive words, you may receive an image, or you may feel a sensation in your body. You may simply feel a sense of knowing or calm. I'm going to invite you now to take one last look at yourself in this special divine mirror and to see yourself with compassion, with love, and with complete acceptance. And know that you can return to this connection, to this divine mirror, anytime you choose. When you're ready, gently step away from your mirror, carrying this feeling of alignment with you. I'm going to keep you in the energy. I'm going to continue to send. And for the next 10 minutes, you can write, you can think, and do whatever you need to do. In 10 minutes, we'll move into the next one. I'm going to continue to send and keep you in the energy while you write or while you think. While you're writing, just let it flow out. Don't have to judge it. No one else is going to read it. Worry about spelling, format. Just let it pour out of you. Invite in the Reiki guidance to continue to flow, to guide and direct each as they write, answering the question. What does your higher self want you to know? does your higher self want you to release so you can move forward? As you write, I'm just going to continue to work in the background. And I've been instructed to work on the relationship cords that run from where we are today to our higher self, our relationship with ourself. So as you write, I'm going to be working on those relationship cords for all those who are listening now or who may ever listen in the future. I'm being guided to tell you all a gentle reminder that there is no relationship that's as important as the relationship you have with yourself. It sets the tone for every subsequent relationship you have. You're done writing before, go back into the energy, that's okay. You can either get up and go get a drink of water, use the bathroom, or you can continue just to lay in the energy and continue to connect with your higher self. Or you can just lay and allow the energy to come in however it manifests. But I'm going to continue to send. I know 10 minutes sounds like a long time and feels like a long time. And as I'm arguing with the universe, it's telling me that the 10 minutes is intentional so that nobody is rushed, that we spend so much of our life rushing, that there's no need in this moment to rush. And we're going to go into the second part now. Just make yourself comfortable if you're not already laying down. Start by taking a few slow, deep breaths just to anchor us in this moment, connect us and ground us. I invite in all my symbols I have now or might ever have, known or unknown, named or unnamed, pulling an energy from the highest heaven, purest energy. I ask the energy to take my unhealed ego and my energy out of this. It has to be guided. Now imagine you're in that beautiful clearing in the forest again. And you noticed across the clearing is a path. This path goes off to the right. And you feel compelled to follow this path. As you move through, take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is the forest. Smell the air. Just breathe deeply in that clean forest air. Feel the energies of the earth connect up through the bottoms of your feet. Just notice the beauty, the wildflowers, sound of birds. You find the path easy and comfortable to move along. And just notice how safe and content your body feels in this moment. Again, just allow yourself to connect with the harmony and the peace of this earth, this forest. As you continue down this path, you come to a magnificent tree. You can imagine whatever kind of tree you like. I imagine a mighty oak. This tree is strong and large ahead of you, and you may either climb up into the tree, or if you feel more comfortable, you can sit on the ground, connected to the earth with your back against the tree. There is no wrong answer. I like to climb up in the tree. This is the tree of life. It connects you to the animal kingdom, to the earth, and to the divine. Allow yourself to just fully connect and invite in the energy of the tree of life now. You do that by just saying, I invite you in, or just by thinking it. As you allow yourself to connect with this tree of life, you notice that all around you a circle has formed. This circle is made up of your guides. Some guides are with you for chapters of your life, others are with you for your duration of your journey on this earth. They can come in all different forms. But notice around you a circle is forming or is formed. Beautiful light bringers. Could be animals, the angels, other beings. Just take a moment to look around and see beautiful light bringers that have you at the center of their focus. They're all here to support and guide you. They know every part of you, all your deepest, darkest secrets, and the message they have that you're still worthy, just as you are. We often think that if people knew what we really thought, or what thoughts we have when we're tired, worn down, that no one would love us. They knew what we really thought. Your spirit guides are here just asking you to release that. That is part of the human condition that you came to experience. That you can release that. You are worthy just as you are. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter what you've thought. You are enough. The universe does not make mistakes. Just allow yourself to sit in the middle of this circle of love that is formed around you. Allow the feeling of connection, safety, and acceptance to flow through every cell in your body, out into your aura, through your relationship cords, through your ancestors' timeline. Allow it to flow in everywhere. You are accepted for who you are. You are loved for who you are. You are more than enough. You always have been. Others' inability to recognize your worth does not actually diminish your worth. It has nothing to do with you. I now invite you to fully invite in all of that love, that clarity, that protection that this circle around you is offering. And ask the question, what messages do you, my guides, want me to receive right now? What messages do you, my guides, want me to receive right now? Just listen. Again, you may see a symbol, a word, an idea, a picture. And in this moment, you may not get anything at all. And that's okay. No need to panic. You're not doing it wrong. You can also ask, what do your spirit guides want you to invite into your life right now? What do your spirit guides want you to invite in right now? Continue laying in the energy, or if you feel guided, you can write now. You're going to write for 10 minutes before we start the third section. I will continue to send Reiki during this time. Guides want you to know they're always with you, that you can call out both verbally and mentally to them when you need them. They will not interfere unless you ask them. Respect your free choice, your free will. And they want me to reassure you that you cannot reach out too much. They are here to support, enable, and love you. They're part of what you built into this life's plan. Move each shows a ambitious life plan. And this is part of the safeguards, part of the support. They are tools for you to use in the best possible way. Resources. And they are eager to help. Messages to your guides want you to receive right now. What do they want you to invite into your life right now? Whatever comes to you, Don't be critical of it. Be curious. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can ask follow-up questions. Why do they want you to do that? What's important about it? Feel free to ask as many questions as you want during this process. When you ask a question, it's important that afterwards you either pause to hear the response or you write the response freely without hesitation, without analyzing, without criticism. Just let it pour out. There will be time later to analyze. For now, it's just about getting it all out. If you're done writing, you can just make yourself comfortable again. Energy still flowing. And allow your mind to wander a little bit if you want. See where the energy takes you. And go back to the circle. Want more of that love and acceptance circling around you. It's okay too. We're going to go back into the third part. We're going to start the third part in about a minute. We anchor ourselves in this moment again. So start breathing in through your nose, down to your belly. Slowly out your mouth and then pause before taking another breath. Now imagine you're at the tree of life. You now feel guided to leave this space of the sacred forest. Before you do, though, take a moment to show your gratitude for the tree and for the community, the spirits, guides that are around you. You find another path, and you feel compelled to move across this path back through the forest. Again, the beautiful forest, and you get the sense that you're safe, you're content, and that there's joy everywhere. Notice now, though, that you're not walking this path alone. Your guides that you just connected with, they're moving with you. Some move through the forest, some on the path behind you, some on the path in front of you, all serving their own purpose. They're always there. As you move through this beautiful forest, you feel your connection to the earth, to your guides, to the trees, to your higher self strengthen. Just allow that to happen. Continue. Just absorb all that is good and right, the world in this forest. Up ahead, you see a beautiful river, and there's a beautiful bridge of light that crosses this river. A moment just to visualize what that looks like. You feel compelled to cross this beautiful bridge. Again, your guides come with you. Once you move across the bridge, one of your guides steps forward and leads you through a gate into a beautiful garden. Just allow yourself some time to take in the beauty of this garden. There are flowers, bushes, trees, birds, the sound of bees. Allow yourself. Allow yourself to find the peace and beauty in this special garden now. What do you notice about this garden? God then leads you further and deeper into this special sacred garden to a beautiful water fountain. Can sit on the edge of this water fountain, dip your feet in, or you can lay on the ground next to it. Whatever you feel compelled to do here is fine. This water is in the highest heaven, pure consciousness, pure wisdom. I invite you to take a moment and drink from that fountain. Bring that wisdom, that pure love into your body. Bring that water in, drink as much as you want. Allow it to become a part of this body, a part of this experience you're having on earth. Drink as much of that water as you want. And then pose your question to the universe. And pose your own question if you feel guided. Or you can just ask to connect with Source and ask the universe, what does it want you to know in this moment? What does it want you to know in this moment? And let's just spend a little bit of time in the energy around that question. And also ask, what action does the universe want you to take next? What action, big or small? And again, listen for the answer, but don't be critical. Be curious. If you hear something that doesn't make sense, just ask more follow-up questions. The energy is going to continue to flow. You may continue to lay and just listen, or you may get up and write, whatever you feel guided to do and whatever feels right for you in this moment. There is no wrong answer. I'm going to continue to send. And being guided to invite in the Reiki energy to release any religious trauma that forms a barrier or blockade between you and receiving guidance from the universe, source, God, whatever name you put on it. So if you're finding this part difficult, it's not a deficiency, it's just something that we need to heal. And we can. So if you're finding this part difficult, it's okay. Just give the energy consent to heal you in this area, religious trauma. And if you're not ready, that's okay too. Reiki always goes at the pace that you're ready. You can always dictate the pace. When you are ready to heal it, just return to this meditation or any other meditation that deals with that. This is a channeled message, and because it's so late, I'm being guided to ask the energy to continue to flow to each of you as you write. And as you go into sleep tonight, so that this guidance can uh, continue in your sleep, whether you're consciously or subconsciously aware, the energy is going to continue to work on you during the course of the evening, course of the night, if you allow it. And to allow it, you just have to think or say, I consent, I do, Reiki on, whatever words resonate with you. The energy is going to continue to flow. You can continue to write. You can see yourself out if you've reached reached that point. Um, you can also come back and share. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to kind of find yourselves and figure out what you want to do next. Finish up writing if you're still writing. And then I'll share some of what I saw during the meditation. Answer any questions. Okay. So this was very different for me, and I thank you all for being willing to go on this journey with me. It was totally channeled. I didn't know where it was going, um, and talk about imposter syndrome, right? Like when I started, I was like, oh, Amanda. Um, but you probably heard me say, like, take my ego out, take my unhealed ego out. And so I just allowed it to be what the universe wanted it to be. There's no wrong way to do this. And one of the things we've seen over the course of the last few days is all the different ways that all the different styles of practicing Reiki. Um, I use all kinds of different styles, and it depends on where I'm at any given time. So I encourage you to play with the energy. Yes, it's sacred, but it's not crystal. You're not going to break it, right? Reiki can do no harm. So ask questions, be curious, experiment with it, play with it. Yeah. Does anyone have anything? Again, I've never done this before. This was something the universe told me I was supposed to do, so here I am. So I do appreciate any feedback you guys have. Obviously, we're always improving. And this is going to be something that I'm offering regularly. So once a month. And that's partly to keep me honest so that I continue to check in with my soul because I know one of the things that has been made very clear to me is I have everything in my life that I need for Dragonfly, for my health, for my family. I have everything I need. But sometimes I'm so focused on being productive and rushing around that I don't see the pieces I have. And so my soul check in for me is about grounding and really connecting with my higher self, with my guides, and with the universe just to help bring me back into alignment and take some of the struggle out of my life. And so hopefully, um, this will be a tool for others as well. So if you have anything you want to share, you can either raise your hand, unmute, or put it in the comments and just let me know um, how it was, what your thoughts are, anything you feel compelled to share. And if you don't feel compelled to share, that's okay too.
When I do this for others, a lot comes through. When when doing it for myself, rarely does anything come through. And being insightfully straight, at a certain point, I just felt myself sitting up, and I I know I'm going to listen to this again, and automatic writing as it occurs for me doesn't work for me. When I
Mhm.
do it for others, 100%. Um, and so while you were going through this, I know I was receiving, but I found myself looking online for houses to buy.
I love it. I love the honesty. Yeah.
And I was making myself wrong for that, and exhaustion. And I experienced a dense energy that came in around here into my house and where I am now. And it was just like ick. And I didn't want to open myself up and be vulnerable. So started, and I don't know why. You asked a question, and so I went, whatever the question was, prompted me to start looking at houses to buy.
That's really interesting because one, I love the honesty, first of all. Here's the reality. It's been 2 days that me and Margaret Mary have been and I think Margaret, you were in almost every session except for when you we were giving a session to somebody. Um, and you'll find that in classes too, is like sometimes you just reach the wall, which is fine. We came here to be human, so that's okay. Um, but I do think it's actually meaningful, Margaret Mary, that um and I have a message, I guess, if you're comfortable with me sharing it. Otherwise, I can share it
Absolutely.
separate.
Lay it on me,
I
sister.
Well, you remember last week, I actually said, like, you know, uh, I think you need to find a home. And I think that it's hard to open up those places when you don't feel safe in your own home, when you don't have that place to ground to. We come here, we are divine, but we come here to be human. And humans need a level of safety in their own home, in order to open up those deep, dark places. And someone who lived in this home, I've lived in this home for 14 years. For 10 of those years, my first husband, Matt, lived with me, and it wasn't a safe home at all. This house has been destroyed top to bottom 4 times and rebuilt. I actually started a whole construction company just to keep my house, more tax advantageous way to fix my house. Um, I could not do, I started my healing journey in this house in chaos, uh, but I could not open so many parts of myself until this home was safe. And this home wasn't safe until Matt was gone. And so for me, Margaret Mary, I think you have that block, and the energy, the universe, your guides, all of it is saying, like, okay, um, here's what we need you to do. We need you to find your soft space that's yours, that doesn't have roommates, that that you can 100% be safe in and comfortable in and relax in. I'm not surprised at all that it sent you to houses. So, and
Thank
and
you.
good and good for you for following it, right? Listen, there's times where you hit your wall, and that's okay. So thank you for that, Margaret Mary.
Well, you're very welcome. And, acknowledging that most oftentimes it I don't go there, which is why I go to others for sessions and have them do it. Because when I come out, I feel really great. And they give me the message like the postal person hands you the mail, and I go, okay, got it. And then sit down and read it. And go, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's
It's
a
all,
really, yeah, that's a really important point. So, it's wonderful to go and do the Reiki training. It's a real gift. I love it, and I love teaching. Um, but it's really important that Reiki masters have Reiki masters,
mm-hmm.
right? So me and Margaret Mary meet every Wednesday morning. I need that. I need that. And so I do encourage you to, find your Reiki buddy. And, you know, you can find that in community groups. You can find that in our community. And, you can even send me an email and say, I need a Reiki buddy. We'll find you a Reiki buddy. Um, so it is, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Margaret Mary, for saying that.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here and helping me all weekend.
Listen, it's been a mutually beneficial. I want to mention too, the energy is still flowing. Um, you'll see me moving. If you guys have watched me all week and I don't, it's not a nervous tick. It's the energy flowing. Sometimes I move, sometimes I don't. I can tell you that I do not have the physical stamina to move like this long on my own. It's totally the energy, and sometimes I move in different ways. There may be a rhyme or reason to it. I just haven't picked up the pattern yet. I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. But I did think that I should at least mention it. Um, you know, this isn't Parkinson's or anything like that.
You're
Um,
aligned with the planet's polarity and you're
yeah,
responding to gravitational pull.
it's really neat.
You look like a pendulum, and because I've
Hmm.
worked with you, I understand the movements. And yeah, no, it's definitely not Parkinson's. I have a bunch of medical clients and I understand that. But yeah, it's it can happen. It happens with other Reiki masters that way.
Hmm.
I've been with them, and it's just like, you okay? Yeah, I'm just flowing. It's like, great, flow, baby, flow.
And the first time it happened, I was in the woods alone at my camp land, and I was like, "What is that?" And it was actually I was moving in the infinity sign, is how, um,
Mhm.
anyway. Oh, we got a, sorry, along. Melissa, I had lots of visualizations, especially during part two and three. Beautiful colors. I saw things being dropped from the sky, like was being releasing things that no longer served me. I saw hands reach out and touch my face. When I left the tree of life, I felt so many hands patting me on the shoulders. I also saw beautiful angel wings multiple times, just to name a few. It was beautiful. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Melissa, for saying that. Uh, we come out and again, the universe tells you to do these things. You're like, okay. Um, yeah, so that's beautiful. And it is, we are so connected. I had so many times in my life where I felt so alone. And I had this profound experience during a meditation where I met my guides. And to know, it wasn't just to know that they were there, it's that they knew everything about me and still thought I was worthy, right? I always thought if people knew what I really thought, or if people knew, that, they would. One of my favorite sayings, if we all sat around in a circle and told our deepest, darkest secret, we would burst out in laughter for how unoriginal we all are. We come here to be human, and being human is messy, and that's part of the fun of it. Anybody else have anything else they want to share? Questions, feedback? I'm definitely going to play with the format of this and the timing and see how all that goes. Um, But if there's anything else, any questions, and if there's something you're not, not sure about and you want to reach out to me later, again, I'm super accessible. I'm not always the fastest, but I will get, I will get to your email. So please never hesitate to reach out to me. Uh, there's my email. Um, we have regular events in our community. So if you have a Dragonfly Reiki membership, I do 3 check-ins a month with the group, depending on kind of which level you have, but regular sessions there. And then I have classes coming up. It's all in the community calendar. And then I will be doing these soul check-ins every month. I'm not sure if they're up yet. I have to check with Melissa. So I'm here, I'm accessible. You know, and if you're wondering, and I also have the benefit of knowing uh, our community members really well. So even if you want to reach out and say, who should I work with? By all means, like, I will, we can talk it through. I'm just going to look at some more of the comments now. Um, Nevia, I had it and then I lost it. Uh, Nevia, no, that's not right.
Nahavia.
Uh, Say it again.
Nahavia.
Nahavia. I have many skills. Sounding out is not one. I swear I missed that whole year at school. Okay, so she said the first part I was told to heal my grief and trust. Makes sense. Parts two and three, I've seen a lot of visualizations as well, so many colors in the ocean, but much more. Beautiful. Beautiful. And again, like I think I've said this before in other sessions, but you can return to this as many times as you want. And like you could listen to this meditation every day for 7 days, and each time you will likely see something different or go a little bit deeper. And I encourage you to do that. If there's something that you want more information on, return with that meditation. Um, and the grief and the trust, just going back to that for a second, it's, I'm not going to pretend that it's all lollipops and butterflies healing that grief and trust. It's hard work, uh, but there's so much joy and beauty on the other side of it. It's worth it. And and Reiki is an incredible tool. The Akashic records are an incredible tool. Like there's so many tools, and the universe has brought you to this community and to this event for a reason. So pull from that, keep coming back. And again, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do not have a dollar to spend in our community, we still want you, right? Like we value your soul and we honor your path and we want to connect with you. We want you in our community. So thank you for that. Um, and then Marta said, I think it was very interesting what I wrote, a lot of stuff that I have never thought of, but it's interesting, especially for part three. Thank you for saying that, Marta. I felt the same way when I first started writing. I had done meditations for a while before somebody said automatic writing. And at first, I was so intimidated by it. It's like automatic writing, really what it is just, I think I like the word free writing, like just dump it on a page. And for me, that allowed my meditations to go so much further and deeper. And I actually get more clarity out of the writing than I do in the actual energy. Um, you know, uh, but yeah, so anything you want to add to that, Marta? No pressure. You don't have to. Uh, oh, just unmute, dear.
The energy was great. Like I felt really good and I feel super like chill like right now. But I
Awesome.
like it's just I just the writing part, I was like, wow, that is stuff that I didn't like I think the question was like, what does the universe or the source want
Want
you
the
to
next step
know? Or next step
or
or
what
they
you
want
know?
you to
Yeah, want
know,
you to know.
right?
That's right.
And I was like, it was like somebody totally different answered that question. It was things that have never crossed my mind.
Yeah. Listen, I have books of this stuff, and a lot of times when I have questions, I think it's about one thing, and then, three other things come out, but when I step back, I see how it's all connected, right? So what I thought was my problem was actually a symptom of something. So it is when you allow, whether you think it's your subconscious, your higher self, your guides, whatever. And again, I pause to say, if you think this is all just, placebo effect, your subconscious, that's fine too. Like it can be whatever you want it to be. Um, but yeah, like I love the look on your face right now, Marta. It is that like total relaxation. And how often do you actually get that in your life?
Not very. I mean, I do meditate a lot,
Good.
but not very often. And especially coming out of this, tomorrow 'cause
Holiday season.
yeah, the kids are going back to school, and we've been home for 2 weeks, and it's been a lots of fun. And we do this thing where we talk about gratitude at dinner time. So everybody
Awesome.
talks about one thing that they're grateful for. And I was talking about how grateful like it was just a relaxing holiday and it was really great and we had lots of fun. Um, but it was a lot. Like I have two young kids. Like I'm like ready to go. I'm ready for them to go back to work or to school and me to work a little bit more because that is a little bit sometimes more physically
Yeah.
less work physically.
Yeah, I have lots of people that work for me that say they come to work to get a break from home. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Marta is actually part of our team here she's just given so freely of herself and has been so wonderful in our marketing. So we're really thankful for Marta. And if you came here and didn't know Dragonfly, it's Marta was a big part of that. So thank you, Marta, for coming and thank you for everything that you do for our community.
Thank you. I just love it. I'm like so happy to be here.
Well, and first of many, we hope.
Yes, for sure.
Um, and then Michelle said, thank you so much. I was surprised by the messages I got. I received healing I didn't know I needed. I love that, Michelle. Like that is a theme that I'm glad that you kind of spoke of because that happens frequently, right? You often surprised by the message. And I think that's why it's so important for us to create these spaces to check in with ourselves. We know the answer if we just calm the calm down a little bit and let the answer come to us, let the messages come. So thank you, Michelle. Anybody else have anything else they want to add, question, anything, whether it's from this or anything else over the course of these 2 amazing days? I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. right, folks. I want to thank you all. Go sleep well. The energy is going to continue to flow. I've set the intention. The energy is going to lead you into your dreams. And if you want, if it feels right, you can even put what you were writing by your bed. So in the morning when you wake up, you can write. And I actually find, so just a little tidbit here, um, sometimes I have temper tantrums with the universe. Most often around Dragonfly, if I'm honest, right? So one example of that is in about March of this of 2025. I had a full-on temper tantrum with the universe where I swore. I swear a lot with the universe. The universe gets me, it understands. Um, so I basically said to the universe, like, what the fuck? Like, you told me to create this community. We're having technical problem after technical problem. I'm not good at any of the technical stuff. I don't know how to do any of this. Like, bring me a damn solution or I'm done with it. And I went to sleep a little bit grumpy. And I woke up the next morning and I actually said to the universe, I want a solution tomorrow. Like, I want a solution. And I don't care what the solution is. I'm not attached to what the solution is. I just want a solution. And if that solution means that I'm done with this project, then so be it. But like I'm letting go of the attachment, just bring me a solution. I woke up the next morning and it was like a flash of insight where my brain was like, "Hey, doesn't your sister Melissa, did she do something like this?" In fact, my sister had done all of this kind of stuff, but her job had been outsourced many years ago to India. And then she had kind of done some other things. And then she had three kids. And of course, she has three kids under five, so she can't afford daycare to work anywhere. And so I reached out to my sister and I was just like, hey, I don't know if you have any time, but you want to help me with this? And she was like, basically, oh, thank God I'm reading a book a day. Her kids are very self-sufficient. And so she came aboard and, it turns out, you know, WordPress is what we were originally on. That's what she had worked in. She had continued to do upgrading every year because she dreamed of one day getting back to it. She didn't know how she was going to get back to that kind of work, but she always dreamed and always felt that there would be a way and that she needed to keep up on her education. And, uh, talk about a missing piece. I go down that little path to say it's okay to have temper tantrums with the universe. We are human. We come here to be human. We don't need to be perfect, right? Reiki likes real. Reiki likes chaos. The universe likes chaos or likes, the reality of what this life is like. So you can have your temper tantrums with the universe, but the important part is that you be open to the answer and solution the universe brings you, right? So if you're going to have the temper tantrum and you're going to have the ask, you also need to pay attention to what the answer is and be open to the answer. So yeah, go sleep. Go let the energy guide you. If you wake up in the morning, it may be a flash of insight. It may be that you write. And a wonderful practice that you can get into is just taking a few moments in the morning. Close your eyes, feel your heart, ground yourself. If you have Reiki, call it in. It doesn't need to be 30 minutes, it doesn't need to be 10 minutes, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Do it while you're in the shower, while you're waiting for your conditioner to set, whatever. Set aside some time where you can just connect with yourself, invite in that clarity, ask for guidance from your guides, from the universe, all of that. All right, now I'm going to let you guys all sleep because I could talk for another 4 hours. So, uh, I'm here. Reach out. And thank you all. Thank you, Dawn. I agree. Dawn says, thank you so much. It's been 2 amazing days. It really has. Like, I'm so thrilled to do this again. And thank you all so much. And I just ask of you that you remain curious about your path, about Reiki, about other modalities. We have the current site with all of its issues. It's still got lots of great stuff. Everything works, even if it's a little clunky. We do have a new site that's coming, so stay, follow us on social media, sign up for the newsletter, keep in contact with us, but be curious. There is depth to this community that we are just beginning to appreciate. So go explore. If you look at the practitioners, I think there's 85 of them right now. They all have different stories, different paths. And chances are one of them has walked the path that you are walking now. They're just a little bit further down the line. So not every lesson has to be hard, right? You can learn from others. Some of us like to call in the hard struggles. I'm working on healing that, and you can too. So, all right, folks, thank you so much. I hope you rest well and set the intention for the Reiki to continue to flow until you wake up tomorrow morning. Thank you all. Good night.